Hello geniuses, welcome to Vidwath Academics. I'm your math tutor Devika. In this session, we shall be studying a very interesting chapter from class 9 mathematics called Coordinate Geometry. Now what is coordinate geometry? You have all studied geometry from your lower classes. But what is coordinate geometry? Now before I tell you the meaning, let me tell you the meaning of the prefix co. Co means together. If two or more things are together, we usually make use of the prefix co. Here, what are the things that are together? What are the two things that might be together? Now, before we dive into that, let me first ask you a question. Do you all see the image of a ball on the screen? Of course you do. Now, I'll ask you a question. Tell me the position of the ball on the screen. Tell me the location of this ball on the screen. How will you tell me that? You could probably tell me that the ball is closer to the upper end of the board, or the ball is closer to the right side of the board. But that is it. Can you tell me the exact location of the ball on this board or the screen? You cannot, can you? But what if I place the ball on a number line? Now, what is a number line? I'm sure you have all studied number line in your lower classes. A number line is nothing but a straight line that extends infinitely far on both sides, represented by arrows at both ends of the line. Also, we have a fixed point on the number line called the origin, denoted by 0. On either sides of the origin, we have unit distances measured out, and all these unit distances are given by points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on the right side of the origin, and -1, -2, -3, -4 and so on the left side of the origin. Therefore, from the origin, the right side of the number line gives us the positive half of the number line. From the origin, the left side of the number line gives us the negative half of the number line. Now, since the ball is placed on the number line here, I can easily tell the position of the ball. Clearly, the ball is placed at the point 3. Therefore, the position of the ball is at the point 3 on this given number line. Simple, isn't it? Now, tell me the position of the ball here on the screen wherein it is not lying on a number line. In this case, what do we do? Here, I am considering two number lines. Let me consider the horizontal number line as the line A and the vertical number line as line B. The horizontal and the vertical number line, they intersect obviously perpendicularly at the origin. That is, an angle of 90 degrees formed at the origin. These two lines can be called as axis. These two lines can be called as axis. This is one axis. This is another axis. Now, the horizontal axis and the vertical axis can be made use to find the location of this ball. How do we make use of it? From the ball, let me drop a perpendicular to the number line A. That is, I am dropping a perpendicular to the horizontal axis. That an angle formed here is 90 degree. Similarly, I will take a perpendicular from the ball to the number line B. That is, a perpendicular is drawn from the ball to the vertical axis. If you notice here, the perpendicular from the ball to the A axis or the A number line meets this number line at the point 3. That means the distance of this ball from the line B to the right side of it is 3 units. So, the ball is placed 3 units to the right of the line B. Similarly, since the perpendicular from the ball to the line B meets the line B at the point 2, I can say that the distance of the ball from the number line A is 2 units above the number line A. So the ball is 2 units above the number line A. Hence, I can give the exact location of this ball as the ball is placed. Where is it placed? It is placed 3 units to the right of B and it is placed 2 units above A, where B and A represent the number lines. Therefore, I am making use of 2 information here to locate the position of the ball. That is, I need a minimum of 2 of these points or 2 of these distances to exactly locate the position of this ball that is placed on the screen. Now, instead of taking the lines as the line A and line B, I am taking the horizontal axis as the x dash x axis, which is generally called as x-axis. And I am taking the vertical axis as y or y dash, generally called the y-axis. The x-axis and y-axis are 2 number lines which intersect each other perpendicularly at the origin. We can make use of the x-axis and the y-axis to locate the ball. And students, where have we taken these number lines? The number lines that we have taken are on a plane, that is on a 2-dimensional surface. Remember, this is important. On a plane, we are considering 2 perpendicular axis, namely x-axis and y-axis, intersecting at the origin. In order to find the position of the ball here, we again take perpendiculars from the ball to the x-axis and perpendicular from the ball to the y-axis. The perpendicular from the ball to the x-axis meets the x-axis at the point 3. All the points on the x-axis are given by x, small x. So in this case, this point is given by small x is equal to 3. All the points on the y-axis is given by small y. In this case, the perpendicular from the ball to the y-axis meets the y-axis at the point 2. So this point is y is equal to 2. This also means the distance of the ball from the y-axis is 3 units and the distance of the ball from the x-axis is 2 units. Here you see x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 2. These are nothing but the address of the ball. Just like your house has an address for us to locate your house easily, any point on a plane also has an address given by these points. These points are called coordinates. Now do you get why I made use of the prefix co? These 2 points are coming together to give us the location of the ball or the location of any point in general on a plane. Now these 2 points can be written as an ordered pair. Ordered pair means it is a pair consisting of 2 values that are in a particular order. We cannot interchange the order as we want. I'll tell you why we cannot interchange the order as I explain to you the rest of the concept. Here, the order that I take is of the form x, y. This value x is called the x coordinate. This value y is called the y coordinate. X coordinate in this case is nothing but our point 3 and y coordinate in this case is nothing but our point 2. So this ordered pair that you see that is written inside small brackets 3, 2 gives us the exact location of this ball on the plane. This is how you make use of the x-axis and the y-axis to give the location of any point on the plane. Here we are introduced to the concept of coordinates. So on a plane, the position of any point can be given by making use of coordinates. Similarly, if the coordinates of a point are given to us, we can easily locate a point on the plane. I hope that is clear, students. Now, this here that you see seems a lot like the graph sheets that you have in your graph book, doesn't it? In the graph sheet, you can notice a number of bold straight lines. You have a number of horizontal bold straight lines and a number of vertical bold straight lines. Now, these horizontal and vertical bold straight lines have a distance of 1 centimeter between any two consecutive horizontal bold straight lines. Similarly, between any two consecutive vertical bold straight lines. You will also notice 9 fine lines between any two consecutive bold lines. Now, the distance between any two fine lines is 1 millimeter. Therefore, there is a total of 10 millimeters of distance between any two bold lines, which gives us 1 centimeter. Hence, the units that we take on the graph sheet in your graph book is nothing but 1 centimeter. Each unit distance is 1 centimeter. Clear, students? In the graph sheet, we always draw the x-axis in the horizontal line and the y-axis in the vertical line. Both of these must intersect at the origin. But why do we take it in this way? Why don't we take the x-axis as the vertical line and y-axis as the horizontal line? It is absolutely not wrong to take it that way. But this is the worldwide accepted convention. This is what everyone in the world use. Therefore, we also consider the same pattern or the same convention, and we take x-axis as the horizontal axis and y-axis as the vertical axis, intersecting at the origin. Clear, students? Now, this system that gives us the location of a point by making use of coordinates, namely x-coordinate and y-coordinate, is called the coordinate system, which is our chapter. Coordinate geometry deals with coordinate system of locating points on a plane by making use of coordinates. Now, I told you about the x-coordinate and the y-coordinate. The x-coordinate is called the abscissa and the y-coordinate is called the ordinate. These are just another set of names for x-coordinate and y-coordinate. The x-coordinate is called abscissa, y-coordinate is called ordinate. So, if I write x comma y, then here x is, that is the first coordinate is the abscissa, the second coordinate is the ordinate, and it must always be written in this order only. Clear, students? Alright. Now, let us solve a few problems by making use of coordinates. The first question is, how will you describe the position of a table lamp on your study table to another person? Just like we described the position of a ball by making use of two axes, we can make use of the same concept to describe the position of this table lamp on your study table. To do that, we will be considering two axes on two edges of this table. Which are the two edges? On one of the edges, that is the length, we will consider one axis and let that be the x-axis. And let that be the y-axis. And on the other edge, that is on the breadth of the top of the table, we shall consider another axis, which is the y-axis. If the lamp is placed on the table at this position, I can draw perpendiculars from the lamp to the y-axis as well as the x-axis. If you notice here, the distance of the lamp from the x-axis is 20 centimeters. The distance of the lamp, if you notice here, the distance of the lamp from the y-axis is 20 centimeters and the distance of the lamp from the x-axis is 30 centimeters. That means the point on the x-axis is nothing but 20, where the perpendicular meets the x-axis, and the point on the y-axis where the perpendicular meets the y-axis is 30. Isn't it, students? If 20 centimeters is the distance from the y-axis to the object, that means the perpendicular from the object to the x-axis meets the x-axis at 20. Also, if the distance from the object to the x-axis is 30 centimeters, then the perpendicular to the y-axis from the object meets the y-axis at 30. At these 2 points, the perpendiculars meet the 2 axes. Therefore, in this particular example, I can write the coordinates of the position of this lamp as 20, 30. 20 will be our x coordinate, that is the point on the x-axis, which is 20. 30 will be our y coordinate, that is point on the y-axis, which is 30. Clear, students? So how will we answer this? Take 2 perpendicular axes intersecting at the origin. These 2 axes, they intersect at the origin. Now, where are we taking that origin? Let the origin be at one corner of the table. That is how we have considered here also. We have taken the origin at one corner of the table. Then take horizontal axis. In this case, which is the horizontal axis, students? That is the y-axis. This horizontal axis, we are going to take that along the length of the table. Students, how do you consider the length and breadth of the table? The longer side is usually the length and the shorter side is the breadth. So this is the length, y-axis, and the shorter side, this side is the breadth, x-axis. Also now we take vertical axis, in this case the x-axis, along the breadth of the table. Now we have defined the 2 axes and the point of intersection of the axis origin. Therefore, draw perpendiculars from lamp to the axis. From the lamp to both the axes, I am going to draw perpendiculars. Then, the perpendicular meeting the x-axis gives x coordinates. Perpendicular meeting y-axis gives me the y coordinate. Therefore, perpendicular meets x-axis at x coordinate and perpendicular meets y-axis at y coordinate. So hence we have now the x coordinate and y coordinate. Therefore, position of the lamp, I can write it as an ordered pair given by x comma y, since I got the x coordinate and y coordinate. In this particular example that I have taken, I see that the coordinates of the position of the lamp is 20, 30. I hope this is clear, students. Did you understand how to find the coordinates, how to find the address of a point or of an object that is given on a plane? Clear, students? Alright. Now let's look into the next question. The next question is, they have given us a street plan. What is the street plan? A city has 2 main roads which cross each other at the center of the city. There are 2 main roads, they cross each other at the center of the city. These 2 roads are along the north-south direction and east-west direction. This is the north-south direction and this is the east-west direction. You must have studied this in geography also. All the other streets of the city run parallel to these roads and are 200 meters apart. So all other roads are parallel to both of these roads. There are some parallel streets parallel to the north-south road, and there are parallel streets parallel to the east-west road. There are 5 streets in each direction. 5 parallel roads, 5 parallel streets in the north-south direction, 5 parallel streets in the east-west direction. Using 1 centimeter is equal to 200 meters. Draw a model of the city on your notebook. Represent the roads or streets by single lines. There are many cross streets in your model. A particular cross street is made by 2 streets, one running in the north-south direction and another running in the east-west direction. That is, whenever 2 perpendicular lines meet at all these points of intersection, we have what is called cross street. Each cross street is referred to in the following manner. If the second street running in the north-south direction and the 5th street in the east-west direction meet at some crossing, then we will call this cross street as 2, 5. If we have a second street, that this is the second street, if this is running in the north-south direction, and if there is the 5th street in the east-west direction, say this is the 5th street, it is running in the east-west direction, this is 5th, this is 2nd, then the cross street that is formed at the intersection of both of these streets is represented by coordinates 2, 5. This is the information that they have given to us. They have also given to us the method in which we are naming these cross streets. Now, the question is, using this convention, we must find a number of things. Before that, let us see how to draw this. First, we must draw 2 axes, just as we draw x-axis and y-axis. But in place of x-axis, we have the east-west road. In place of the y-axis, we have the north-south road. These are the 2 main roads. These are intersecting at the origin. This is at the center of the city as given in the question. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that you notice on both of these axes are at unit distances from each other. That is, the length 0 to 1 is unit distance, 1 to 2 is unit distance, and so on in both the axes. Next, we will draw the streets. How are we going to draw the streets? First, we are going to draw all the streets that are parallel to the road in the north-south directions. There are 5 such streets. So, we have 5 parallel streets that are equidistant from the consecutive streets. That is, from the main road in the north-south direction, the first street is 200 meters apart. The second street is 200 meters apart from the first street. The third street is 200 meters apart from the second street, and so on. Similarly, we will next draw streets that are parallel to the east-west direction road. We have 5 such streets. Here again, the distance from the main road in the east-west direction to the street 1 is 200 meters. From street 1 to street 2 in this case is 200 meters, and it continues so on. So in this case, we have to write something called the scale of a graph. Any graph will have a scale. What does the scale mean? The x-axis and the y-axis have points here that are 1 units apart from each other. In your graph book, these 1 units are nothing but 1 centimeters, as I explained to you before, because the distance between any 2 bold lines on your graph book is 1 centimeter. So, on the x-axis, in this case the x-axis is the east-west road. On this x-axis, each 1 centimeter, that is 1 centimeter on your graph book, is nothing but 200 meters. That each of this distance is 200 meters. 200 meters. Similarly, the scale on the y-axis means in the north-south direction road, we have these points that are marked. Each of these points are 200 meters apart from each other. Therefore, each centimeter Each 1 centimeter is 200 meters. So this is 200 meters. This is what is meant by the scale of a graph. Clear, students? Now, at the points of intersection of all of these perpendicular lines, that is, each horizontal line intersects with each vertical line, hence those two lines are perpendicular to each other. At these points of intersections, crossroads are formed. So you have a number of crossroads here. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. You have so many cross streets. Now, using this, we are going to first find how many cross streets can be referred to as 4, 3. In the question they've told us that any cross street, if given by 4, 3, then this means that that cross street is formed by a line in the north-south direction, which is the 4th street, and a line in the east-west direction, which is the 3rd street. That means when the 4th street in the north-south direction intersects with the 3rd street in the east-west direction, at this point we have a cross street, and that is given by 4, 3. The question is to find how many such cross streets can be formed. Corresponding to this coordinates, we get only one cross street. So the answer for this is 1. There is only one cross street. The second question they are asking us, how many cross streets can be referred to as 3, 4. 3, 4 means the cross street is formed when street 3 in the north-south direction intersects with street 4 in the east-west direction. So that cross street will be formed at this point and its coordinates are given by 3, 4. There is only one such cross street that we can find. So also there is one here. That is simple. Clear? Now in this problem we are going to make an observation. Students, if you notice the coordinates of the first cross street, it is 4, 3. The coordinates of the second cross street given here is 3, 4. If you see here, the coordinates of the first cross street when interchanged gives me the coordinates of the second cross street, isn't it? But when we interchange the positions of the x coordinate and the y coordinate, the points get changed. It gives us the location of an entirely different point. Therefore, the order in which we take the coordinates is very important. If you exchange the order, if you interchange the order, instead of 3, 4, if you take 4, 3 or vice versa, it gives me entirely different points. So, to each point, there is a unique coordinate, and also to each coordinate, there is a unique point on the plane. I hope you understood the meaning of ordered pair that I was talking about earlier. This is why I call it an ordered pair. A certain order has to be formed while writing the two coordinates in the pair. Clear, students? That is it for today's session. I hope you understood everything that was taught today. For more such content, do not forget to subscribe to our Vidwath app. You can also follow us at all the social media platforms. Keep learning, keep practicing, keep studying and enjoy math. Remember, to be the best, choose Vidwath.
A new journey in learning. Difficult to remember concept? Worry no more. Presenting Vidwath Learning app. To be the best, choose Vidwath.
ಕಲಿಕೆನ ಸುಲಭ ಮಾಡೋಕೆ ಅಂತಾನೆ ವಿದ್ವತ್ ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಆಪ್ ಇರೋವಾಗ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಯಾಕೆ? ಹಿಂದೆ ವಿದ್ವತ್ ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಆಪ್ ನ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
Hello geniuses, welcome to Vidwath Academics. I'm your math tutor Devika. In the previous session, we have studied about the coordinate system of locating the points on a plane. Whenever we are given a point on a plane, we can easily write its address or location by making use of coordinates. Similarly, if the coordinates of any point are given to us, we can find that point on the plane by making use of the coordinates. In this session, we shall study more such concepts on coordinate geometry. Firstly, who gave us this coordinate system? Did you know the coordinate system is also called the Cartesian coordinate system? But why is it called this way? Well, the name Cartesian comes from the name of the mathematician who came up with the system. This mathematician is a French mathematician by the name René Descartes. Now, this mathematician, while lying in his bed one day, came up with a system for locating points on a plane. This system that René Descartes came up with was very useful and proved to be applicative in many branches of mathematics, namely analytical geometry, linear algebra, and so much more. Now let us revise whatever we have studied in the previous session regarding this Cartesian coordinate system. In the previous session, we had seen that we consider a horizontal number line called the x-axis, wherein we have a fixed point called the origin, and from the origin, unit distances are measured on both the sides, to the right as well as the left, and are numbered as 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on with positive integers to the right of the origin, and -1, -2, -3 and so on with negative integers to the left of the origin. Similarly, we consider a vertical number line called the y-axis, which also has the fixed point called the origin, above which we have unit distances whose points are given by positive integers, and below the origin we have unit distances measured and these points are given by negative integers. Now, by intersecting the horizontal x-axis and the vertical y-axis at the origin, we get the Cartesian plane or the coordinate plane. In this plane, if you notice, on the x-axis to the right of the origin, this is called the positive x-axis since all the points here are positive. All the points above the origin on the y-axis is called the positive y-axis because all these points are positive. The points to the left of the x-axis, the points to the left of the origin on the x-axis is called the negative x-axis since all the points here are negative. The points below the origin on the y-axis is called the negative y-axis since all these points are negative. Hence, we get partition of this plane into 4 parts, that is, the x-axis and the y-axis divides the plane into 4 parts. 1 part, 2 part, 3 part and 4 parts. So there are 4 parts that are divided. These 4 parts that the coordinate axis divide the plane into are called quadrants. So we have the first quadrant between the positive x-axis and the positive y-axis, the second quadrant between the negative x-axis and the positive y-axis, the third quadrant between the negative x-axis and the negative y-axis, and the fourth quadrant between the positive x-axis and the negative y-axis. Clearly, we can see that all the points in the first quadrant will have its coordinates as both positive. That is, the x coordinate will also be positive, the y coordinate will also be positive since the first quadrant is formed in between the positive x-axis and the positive y-axis. In the second quadrant, all the points will have its coordinates given by x coordinate is negative and y coordinate is positive since the second quadrant is formed between the negative x-axis and the positive y-axis. In the third quadrant, the coordinates will be of the sort negative x coordinate and negative y coordinate because the third quadrant is formed in between the negative x-axis and the negative y-axis. Similarly, the coordinates of the points in the fourth quadrant are of the form positive x coordinate and negative y coordinate because this fourth quadrant is formed between the positive x-axis and the negative y-axis. Clear, students? Alright. Now, in your graph sheet, we have the x-axis and the y-axis intersecting at the origin O. So, if there is any point, say this particular point on your graph sheet, I can easily find the location of this point by drawing perpendicular to the x-axis from the point and drawing a perpendicular to the y-axis from the point. The point at which the perpendicular meets the x-axis is our x-coordinate. The point at which the perpendicular meets the y-coordinate is the point at which the perpendicular meets the y-axis is the y-coordinate. In this case, the x-coordinate is 5, y-coordinate is 4. So, the location, the address or the coordinates of this point can be written as 5, 4. That is x-axis, x-coordinate, y-coordinate. Similarly, if I give you a random point, say 3, 2. This is the coordinates of a point. This point or the point corresponding to this coordinates can be located on the plane. 3, 2 means the x coordinate is 3 and the y coordinate is 2. That means the point will lie on the line passing through the x coordinate that is parallel to the y axis at the point x equal to 3. That is, the point will lie on the vertical line passing through x equal to 3, and also the point will lie on the horizontal axis passing through the point y is equal to 2. Therefore, the point will lie at the intersection of both of these lines. So, this point is 3, 2. So, now we have seen if a point is given, we can write its coordinates. If the coordinates of a point is given, we can locate the point. By making use of this, let us solve a number of problems. The first question, write the answer of each of the following questions. What is the name of the horizontal and the vertical lines drawn to determine the position of any point in the Cartesian plane? In the Cartesian plane, we have a horizontal axis and the vertical axis that are intersecting each other. What are these lines? The horizontal line is the x-axis and the vertical line is y-axis. Isn't it, students? The next question. What is the name of each part of the plane formed by these two lines? The two lines, that is the x-axis and the y-axis, they divide the plane into 4 parts. What are these parts called? These parts are called quadrants. Aren't they, students? These parts are called quadrants. The next question. Write the names of the point where these two lines intersect. What is the name of this point where the two lines intersect? Isn't it the origin? The name of that point is origin. Simple? Alright. In this figure, we have to look at the figure and write the following. What is the coordinates of the point B? We can see that the point B is located here. To find its coordinates, already perpendiculars have been drawn from the point B to the x-axis as well as y-axis. The perpendicular to the x-axis meets the x-axis at the point -5. So, that will be our x-coordinate, which is -5. The perpendicular from the point to the y-axis meets the y-axis at the point 2. Therefore, that is the y-coordinate. Hence, -5, 2 is the coordinates of B. What is the coordinates of C? We can notice the point C here. From C, perpendiculars are drawn to the x-axis as well as y-axis. Perpendicular from the point to the x-axis meets the x-axis at the point 5, which becomes the x-coordinate. Perpendicular from the point to the y-axis meets the y-axis at the point -5, which becomes the y-coordinate. So, we have 5, -5, which is the coordinates of the point C. Next, the point identify the coordinates of -3, -5. Here, they have given us the coordinates -3, -5. On the x-axis, we have -3 here. On the y-axis, we have -5 here. If I draw a vertical line passing through the point -3 on the x-axis and a horizontal line passing through the point -5 on the y-axis, both of these points intersect at the point E. Hence, the answer for this question is E. E has the coordinates -3, -5. Next, the point identified by the coordinates 2, -4. We see that the point 2 is here on the x-axis and the point -4 is over here on the y-axis. So a line passing through the point 2 on the x-axis, which is vertical, and a line passing through the point y is equal to minus 4, which is horizontal. These two lines intersect at a point G. Hence, the answer for this question is G. That is, G has the coordinates 2, minus 4. The next question, we have to write the abscissa of the point D. What is abscissa? Abscissa is nothing but x coordinate. We have studied this in the previous session. What is the x coordinate of the point D? The perpendicular from the point D to the x-axis meets the x-axis at the point 6. Therefore, the abscissa is 6. This is the abscissa. You can either write it like this or x is equal to 6. This is the abscissa. What is the ordinate of the point H? What do you mean by ordinate? Ordinate is nothing but the y coordinate. We see that the point H is here. If I draw perpendicular from the point H to the y-axis, then it meets the y-axis at the point y is equal to minus 3, and that becomes our y coordinate. Therefore, the ordinate for the point H is minus 3, which can also be written as y is equal to minus 3. Next. Now, to find the coordinates of the point L, we have the point L here. The point L lies on the y-axis and it lies at the point 5. That is, it lies at the point y is equal to 5. But when I draw perpendicular from the point to the x-axis, it meets the x-axis at the origin. Therefore, the x-coordinate is 0 and the y-coordinate is 5. This is the coordinates of the point L. Finally, the coordinates of the point M. The point M lies on the x-axis and it meets the x-axis at the point x equal to minus 3. But when I draw perpendicular from the point M to the y-axis, it meets the y-axis at the origin. Therefore, the y-coordinates is equal to 0. Hence, the coordinates of the point M is given by x-coordinate is minus 3 and the y-coordinate is 0. Did you understand, students? Alright, now that is it for today's session. I hope you have understood everything that was taught today. For more such content, you can subscribe to the Vidwath app. Do follow us at all the social media platforms. Keep learning, keep practicing, keep studying and enjoy math. Remember, to be the best, choose Vidwath.
A new journey in learning. Difficult to remember concept? Worry no more. Presenting Vidwath Learning app. To be the best, choose Vidwath.
ಕಲಿಕೆನ ಸುಲಭ ಮಾಡೋಕೆ ಅಂತಾನೆ ವಿದ್ವತ್ ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಆಪ್ ಇರೋವಾಗ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಯಾಕೆ? ಹಿಂದೆ ವಿದ್ವತ್ ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಆಪ್ ನ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
Hello geniuses, welcome to Vidwath Academics. I'm your math tutor Devika. In the previous session, we have studied about the Cartesian coordinate system. Using this system, we were able to write the address or the location of any point on a plane by making use of coordinates, and also if the coordinates of any points are given, we were easily able to locate that point on the plane. In this session, we shall continue playing with these points and coordinates. Now let us first understand how we can plot a point on a plane if its coordinates are given. If the coordinates of a point are 3, 2. That means the x coordinate is 3 and the y coordinate is 2. That means the point will lie on a plane such that the point will lie on a vertical line that passes through the point x is equal to 3, and it will also lie on a horizontal line passing through y is equal to 2. That is, a point will lie on both these lines. That means a point will lie on the intersection of these two lines, and hence this point is given to us by 3, 2. This is how we locate a point on a plane when its coordinates are given to us. Now, we have studied in the previous session that the two axes on the plane divides the plane into 4 parts called quadrants. Here we have the first quadrant between positive x-axis and positive y-axis, second quadrant between positive y-axis and negative x-axis, the third quadrant between negative x-axis and negative y-axis, and finally the fourth quadrant between the negative y-axis and the positive x-axis. Also, we have seen that any point on the first quadrant will have both of its coordinates to be positive. Any points in the second quadrant will have its x coordinate as negative, y coordinate as positive. Any point on the third quadrant will have its x coordinate as negative and y coordinate as negative. Any point on the fourth quadrant will have its x coordinate as positive and y coordinate as negative. We shall make use of these information to solve a number of problems. The first problem: in which quadrant or on which axis do each of the points -2, 4, 3, -1, -1, 0, 1, 2 and -3, 5 lie? And -3, -5 lie. Verify your answer by locating them on the Cartesian plane. So, first point that we are considering is -2, 4. Let us first locate this. -2, 4 will be given by, it will be positioned on a vertical line passing through -2 and a horizontal line passing through 4. So, it will be present at the intersection of both of these lines. So, at this point we will have, the point given by the coordinates -2, 4. So, here we have -2, 4. Therefore, this lies in the second quadrant. Isn't it, students? This is the first, this is second, this is third and fourth quadrant. Next, the point 3, -1. Let us look at this point. The point 3, -1 will lie on the vertical line passing through x equal to 3 and on the horizontal line passing through y is equal to -1. So, the point will lie at this particular location. So, this point has the coordinates 3, -1 and clearly this point is in the fourth quadrant. So, this point lies in the fourth quadrant. The next point is -1, 0. Let us look at this. Here, the y coordinate is 0. That means this point will lie on the x-axis itself. The value for the x coordinate is -1. Therefore, the point will lie at this location. Therefore, this point has the coordinates -1, 0 and this point lies on the x-axis. The next point, 1, 2. We can locate this point 1, 2. That point will lie on a vertical line passing through x equal to 1 and on a horizontal line passing through y is equal to 2. Therefore, this point will lie here and this point has the coordinates 1, 2. Clearly, this point lies in the first quadrant. This lies in the first quadrant. And the last point here is -3, -5. Where can we find -3, -5? The point -3, -5 will lie on a vertical line passing through x equal to -3 and on a horizontal line passing through y is equal to -5. So, the point will lie at the intersection of both of these points, that is at this point. So, it has coordinates -3, -5 and clearly this point lies on the third quadrant. This point lies in the third quadrant. Hence, we have seen where these points are located and also we have verified our answer by locating the points on the graph. Clear, students? Alright, the next question. Plot the points x, y given in the following table on the plane choosing suitable units of distance on the axis. For us to draw these points, for us to plot these points on a graph sheet, we'll first take the x-axis as the horizontal axis, y-axis as the vertical axis, both of which intersect perpendicularly at the point O called the origin. Here, we are supposed to take a scale. Always while taking the graph, we must write the scale. What is the scale? A scale gives us the units which we are considering. Here, each of these centimeters on the graph sheet, the distance between two consecutive bold lines on a graph sheet is 1 centimeter. So on the x-axis, each 1 centimeter is written as 1 unit because no unit has been given here. Usual units can be given as height, that is meters, centimeters, kilometers, or length, which is again meters, kilometers, centimeters, or even weights can be given, which can be plotted as kilograms, grams, or years can be given. So scales depends on the unit that is given in the question. Also in the y-axis we'll take the same scale, that is each 1 centimeter distance is equal to 1 unit. Now let us plot these points. The first point here is minus 2, 8. This point is minus 2, 8. That is x coordinate is minus 2, y coordinate is 8. So we have minus 2 here in the x-axis and we have 8 here in the y-axis. So the point will lie at the intersection of the lines passing through these 2 points. So the point will lie here. At this point we have the point. So this is minus 2, 8. This is the location of the point. The next one, minus 1, 7. The x coordinate is minus 1, y coordinate is 7. We have minus 1 here on the x-axis and we have 7 here on the y-axis. Therefore, the location of the point will be at this point where the lines passing through minus 1 on the x-axis and 7 on the y-axis will intersect. So, this has the coordinates minus 1, 7. Next, the point 0, minus 1.25. Here the x coordinate is 0, the y coordinate is minus 1.25. X coordinate is 0 means the point will lie on the y-axis. The point will lie on the y-axis. Why? Because x coordinate is 0. Now, the y coordinate is minus 1.25. That is, it will come below the x-axis between minus 1 and minus 2. That is quarter way through minus 1 along minus 1 to minus 2. That is, in your graph sheet, like I told you before, there are 9 fine lines between any 2 consecutive bold lines. From minus 1 to minus 2, there are 9 5 lines. Leaving minus 1, start from the first fine line. That will be our count 1. Second fine line will be 2. Third fine line will be 3. Between the second and the third fine line, you will get the point minus 1.25. So, this point will have coordinates 0, minus 1.25. Remember students, whenever the x coordinate is 0, the point will lie on the y-axis. Whenever the y coordinate is 0, the point will lie on the x-axis. Clear students? The next point, 1, 3. On the x-axis, we have 1 here. On the y-axis, we have 3 here. Therefore, the point will lie on the intersection of the 2 lines passing through x equal to 1 and y equal to 3. So, the point will lie here. So, this point has the coordinates 1, 3. And finally, we have the coordinates of the point as 3, minus 1. We have 3 here on the x-axis and minus 1 here on the y-axis. Therefore, the point will lie here and will have the coordinates 3, minus 1. That is, the point will lie at the intersection of the 2 lines. One vertical line passing through x equal to minus 3 and one horizontal line passing through y equal to minus 1. At that intersection, we get the point 3, minus 1. I hope that is clear, students. Now, that is it for today's session. You have totally together learned a number of concepts under coordinate geometry, mainly the Cartesian coordinate system, using which we can give the location of points, and also if a point is given, we can find its coordinates. Now that completes the coordinate geometry chapter from your class 9 mathematics. I hope you have understood everything that was taught to you. For more such content, do not forget to subscribe to our Vidwath app. You can follow us at all these social media platforms. Keep learning, keep practicing, keep studying and enjoy math. Remember, to be the best, choose